Okay, we're recording.
Thanks, Ann. All right, it is 1:30, we're back from lunch. I don't see any COSs, so we will allow them to come on as soon as they get here. So, a couple of things, mail came in while we were at lunch or during the morning session. We have a letter from the Montana Department of Environmental Quality, and this is for a wastewater discharge permit at Lindley Lake Estates subdivision in Yellowstone County. Again, that's not here, but if you have someone who lives there, you might want to let them know.
Oh, come on, Drew. Come through.
This is something we talked about some time ago. This is the CTAP money. We get a certain amount each year, and if you don't use it within a certain time frame, you lose it. We are slated to lose, I think it's 60-ish thousand if we don't use it. The plan was put together last fall, if I'm not mistaken, to target 4 areas of priority for our CTAP funds. And one of them is the sidewalk in front of the ambulance building. What I have here is the plan that we agreed to and a support letter.
Okay.
Yes, and I apologize, I thought that there was a one for us too. If you guys vote to sign it, I'll just use the same language and put it together. But this one would, if it were the county, it would say the county, Broadwater County is applying, let me step back, it would be applied for by the city and we work with them, it's a partnership. The City of Townsend is applying to the Montana Department of Transportation, Community Transportation Enhancement Program, CTEP, before the funds are lost on June 1, 2014. City Council has identified, in this case it would be the Broadwater County Commission, has identified a draft CTEP plan, sidewalk replacement on Broadway Street that would utilize these funds. The county would like actually it says the city would like commission feedback on the draft. Okay, so let me step back for just a second. We have until June 1st, so we do have 2 weeks. And the city is just asking for our support. I didn't get to read this because it just came in at lunch. So if these priorities follow those of the commission, the city would ask that the commission pledge your available CTEP funds to the City of Townsend so that a larger project can be programmed. The city would ask that the county participate equally in the required 13.42 local match that is required. And here's the rest of the information.
Well, rather than lose it, I think we better use it.
Right, and we certainly have a need with that particular sidewalk.
It's terrible.
It is, and we're gonna hurt somebody if we don't address it.
Not all of us are used to stepping over all the cracks.
Right.
I'm just worried about somebody falling.
Exactly. And we have so many people who are elderly that use the extension services, that would be horrific. So Franklin, do you have any input on the CTEP plan?
What is it here?
I think we have quite a liability if we don't do something.
Yeah, especially since it's been targeted as a need to know it's there and not do anything. Yeah, we'd be hanging way out.
No, I think it's fine. Or the, how much would they do with it? Half that, part of that block's been redone, hasn't it?
No,
I don't think any of it has.
Part of the
Not
Circle
that
K
side of the
was,
street.
wasn't that?
I don't think so. It might have been, but
If so, it's been a long time back. I didn't think it had been, but I could be wrong.
State Bank
Oh,
of
here, it might
Townsend
show it
did
right
their
here.
own on
Wait.
the other side of the
This is
street,
supposed to be here.
but they
See,
only
Oh,
did.
here,
that's-
okay, that's the Circle K, here, I still call it Circle K Bird.
Yeah.
They show, okay, they show
Not
the
a long
lot.
time ago. Not that long time ago.
Yeah, I did a bunch of work, that's why I always, you know, it's a Circle K to me.
you're dating yourself, Franklin.
You're dating.
That's like when you said,
That happens all the time.
if somebody bought, said something about the house down here on Cedar that's up in the air. Oh, you mean the McCarthy house?
That's what I call it too, I,
Some of us have been here a long time now.
yeah, old Fairfax, he was something, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. And so was Gene, you know, Karen me guys.
Gene,
Yeah, his brother.
oh, Gene, yeah,
Yeah.
he was down there where, who was on that corner now?
I do too know, Rains, Sharon Rains, Sharon
That's right.
Potenza.
Yeah,
Are you done with all this?
yeah,
Yeah.
it shows it all the way across there.
So since this is something we've discussed before, we can go ahead and put a response back to the city ASAP. Do you support the project? And I think we should have a motion.
So moved.
All right, we have a
And
second.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to support the proposed project for the CTAP funds, and to draft a response to the city. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
How much
Right.
money does the city have they can put towards it?
They have, total available, 120,000, remaining 31,000. Yeah, I don't know. They also have, CTEP remaining of 31, and then another column here of 15,985. Yeah, and it's already been engineered by Robert Pecha. So, I don't know, but we can find out.
I was just curious.
Yeah. I'll get that to you, Lynn. All right, next we have, this is from the Department of the Army. And this is just to let us know that they have received our pre-application for the TSAP grants. And those are the Deep Creek bridges. When we get the grant, we will have to follow the Corps of Army Engineers regulatory program, and they have a section 404 DA that we'll have to fill out. And that's all it is. It's just a reminder and a notification.
Who's this Mr. Fatness?
No idea. I wonder if that isn't, just a typo going to,
No, because here it is here.
oh, Jeremy. Jeremy wrote the grant.
Oh,
For us, under Sean Higley I didn't know his last name. So it's just to he's just to forward to us that the grant went through that he wrote, and his name appeared on it. Any comments on that, Franklin? If you pass it back, I'll put it in the pile for the record. Thank you. Right, next we have two things with some of the conversations we've been having lately. DIS is the company that we talked with last week about providing IT services for the county, and they did send a preliminary contract. And it is, this is the email with the particulars spelled out. And there's that. And this is a letter of engagement. I don't think it's needed since we have the other, but I think we should sign it just in case.
I talked to him, or maybe it was Doug I talked to him, you know, that day, they said 28 computers or 44 or something like that.
Yeah.
they had missed counting the sheriff's office, and so that's why the
Oh,
number
is that
jumped so
why?
high, yeah.
That upgrade quite a bit, then, what was it before?
44 computers?
44, I think, or 42, something like that, I mean, I know it was over 40.
I think 44,
I think it was.
that's in my mind.
You know what, these are already copied. You can have those.
Does the,
Hang on, we'll take public comment in just a minute.
oh,
What was it per month before, you remember?
Mhm.
I was thinking like 12, 1500 for what? Well, it would double.
It was 18,
Was it 18?
Hmm.
It didn't double.
1895 if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's not out of line then, for that many more.
$1,800.
18.
18, 20, just under 20 or 50 right now or something.
So what's the pleasure of the commission? Do we go ahead and sign the contract and the letter of engagement?
I think we need to, if the sheriff's office goes down, they're in a world of hurt.
And we're in a world of hurt as well.
If we go down during tax time or election time,
Mhm.
holy pop, I just feel gray hairs popping out all over.
Yeah,
Well, I like what he said and talk with Doug. He'll either be here or he'll have somebody here, so that's, I mean,
how much was the final figure?
we'll take public comment as soon as we have a motion and a second.
go ahead and make that.
I did.
Oh, you, okay, I'll second it then.
All right. It has been moved and seconded. We will go ahead and, before we vote, take public comment. Ellen, did you have a question?
Does the courthouse and the sheriff's department and or both, or is it hooked up to fiber optics?
Yeah, I believe we are, but I don't know for sure. That'll be a good question for DIS. We'll
Because,
find out.
as far as for like secure and efficient, I was just curious, I know that they had a fiber optics that ran here years ago. They wouldn't allow, because the school wanted to get on it, you know, yada, yada. And so, do we ever get to use it yet?
We'll be using the cloud.
That's what I was gonna
So,
say.
That'll be a question that we'll have to find out.
Using the cloud?
Mhm.
Don't ask what that is.
Okay.
It's stored, they call it the cloud.
Out there
Yeah,
in
it's-
space.
Is it a gray cloud like?
He's road pizza when it comes to the super information highway, so.
Okay, John, what's your question?
The question was, with the thing you just passed, what was his estimate on the first entry?
We have not passed it. Previous to finding out there were double the number of computers than they thought, it was $1,800 a month. Now with the additional 20-some computers added to the quote, it jumped up by $21.50. So it's $2,150 per month for their services. So, any other questions? All right, it has been moved and seconded to sign the contract with DIS Technologies. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Shouldn't sign
Sounds like a lot
it.
of money, but what else can you do?
You don't have any choice. There's no choice.
Mhm.
I mean, if the sheriff's office goes down,
Or anything, yeah.
or here in
Well,
the
well, the thing is this here, Doug had quite a talk with the service. Where it is now, I can't remember what company it is. Anyway, you call them, they got offices scattered, they're supposed to have an office in Billings, I think it is. And probably, but
Right,
when he
right.
calls, if you don't even be there, there might be somebody in Michigan or Florida or,
And I am sure we are already paying that much per month for just scattered services, or probably close to it anyway, because they're not bashful when they charge when you call.
yeah. Well, that's another thing too. Just calling in, if he does it over the phone, there's no charge, isn't it?
Correct.
Is that what he said?
That is correct.
I think so.
And you've got two things mixed up here. The Black Mountain is the other issue, and that's for the accounting program. This is just for IT services.
Right.
The thing is that we're doing right now is we're paying for travel time because we don't have a contract. So the clock starts the minute they leave Helena, they charge an hour just to get here and an hour to go back. Their price per hour is outrageous. I forget what the total is, but it's been anywhere from $95 to $395, depending on what they do. So, $21.50 a month is a steal as compared to what we've been doing. Probably not a steal in the greater scheme of things, but this is a much cheaper way for the county to do this. So that's one of the reasons we're looking at it. Also is the importance of cyber liability.
So is this the server, or what exactly?
It's IT services. So, yes, they'll be looking at the server, they'll be looking at the wiring, that's one of the first things they're gonna be doing for in-house. The computers married to the various different printers, program needs, all those IT services.
Well, it analyzes the systems to make it more efficient.
Storage, the storage, and the terminology is the cloud, you hear it on TV all the time. It's we're keeping records, it's the whole gamut.
If I'm right, they're the ones that work with this Black Mountain, aren't they? Ain't that what you-
No.
I mean, not with them, but they work with them or something.
They'll work with any programming company, and that's what Black Mountain is. It's
Okay,
not,
but
there's not a
they're
specific
familiar with each
relationship.
other. And I remember him talking about, was you here when he said?
They're not related, it's
No,
just,
I didn't say they were familiar with each other.
yeah, absolutely.
Right, because.
Laura, what did this
Garrett-
service
Garrett has
cost us
worked
last
with
year?
Black Mountain.
Yeah, and Doug seemed to, he's the one that's.
Okay, so we also have here a letter of engagement, and we should go ahead and sign that as well with DIS Technologies.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we moved and seconded to sign the letter of engagement with DIS Technologies. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye, motion carries.
And what does this one do exactly?
Just starts them working for us. I think this is just addition, I don't think it's required since we have the contract, but I want it so
In
that,
addition to-
exactly, if they do need it, I don't wanna have to put things off by another week and come back with it. The cost last year, John, I don't know off the top of my head,
Was it greater, or you guessed?
I don't know.
Or can we find out?
Absolutely, you can find out. It's just I don't have it memorized. Okay, and then the other one is Black Mountain. Black Mountain is the programming company that we're looking at. We currently use, and this is for accounting, for doing the budget for the county. We've been using another company called Tyler Systems, or CSA.
Other technology.
Tyler Technology. This is a new company that does essentially the same thing, only we think
That's
better.
near, I think it was Tyler.
So
And they're the ones that are spread out all over the
Right.
United States.
this is, this is the licensing agreement. What we need to do, in order to get on the list to get this set up with Broadwater County, is actually go ahead and commit to them by signing a contract. Excuse me, we have, so far, we're on a list for August, but they may be booked, which puts us off to December. What we don't wanna do is not get on the list and be pushed off until March or April again when we're trying to start the budget.
Madam Chair, I think they told Doug he could probably get on it mid-October.
Really?
If we get it signed. anyway.
Oh, but that's
Okay.
kind of a scary time with taxes and elections.
But it's either that or wait until after the first of the year, so, you
I
know,
don't
there's
like that
no
one
good
either.
time.
No.
There's no good time.
There is
I
a,
guess you just bite the bullet and go
Yeah.
when they're available.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we moved and seconded to sign the license agreement for purchase and support of application software with Black Mountain. Any public comment, any questions? All right, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This does require all three of our signatures.
Good old Dave Morton tried when I was clerking for him, that's been 20 years ago.
Oh, my. Well, you know, we had lunch during the training in Butte, the HR training, and every single county there had Black Mountain.
Really?
Yeah,
There's a lot of schools that do.
Yeah,
That's another thing that we won't have to translate between two systems.
That's right.
Doing the city and the school.
that's gonna be a huge difference.
That sure makes Doug's job easier.
And if it's easier and quicker, it saves us money.
Mhm.
You know, the sign.
Mhm. I suppose they get one a week anyway. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna just give them to Doug and
Let
let
him worry
him,
about it.
yeah,
You know,
thank you.
something I noticed this morning when we were signing something. Some of us use black and some of us use blue. And nowadays, they prefer you to use blue because black could be a copy.
True. Yes, thank you.
And I'm thinking, and I'm as guilty. I mean, my pen is black, so,
I don't know what mine is. I think it looks black to me.
yeah. But maybe we should
Yeah,
make it
I had a blue pen this morning. Oh, thanks, there's my blue.
What's this here for the ambulance, is this, from MDT?
That's a grant they got. There's a 10% match from the ambulance, but they actually got about $36,000 worth of equipment for the ambulance. And I have about 3,600 they need to match
Oh,
with.
okay, I compare, okay. You went, it showed 36,000, it showed that 3,600 there.
All right, it is 1:45, year of the Buffalo Road decision, County Investment Board decision. I did not make the changes to the County Investment Board, so I'll bring that next week unless you would like to, for a signature. We could vote on it and bring it in for signature next Monday, it's up to you guys. But first of all, for the Buffalo Road, any further comments? All right.
So
All right.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the resolution to establish 2014 as the year of the Buffalo Road for Broadwater County. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I should be curious as to where they found it.
Yeah.
Kay might remember.
Yeah,
Hmm?
I said Kay might remember where she found it.
Well, and it doesn't make any difference, right? It just,
Excuse me.
Yes.
Just a real quick question on the road. It was earlier asked, and I don't think the question got asked right, or in any of the archaeological research, did they ever identify an individual chief or a warrior of the Blackfoot tribe that road belonged to?
no, the most they could do because of how old it is, 1850 to 1890 at this point, is identify the nation. That they did identify as Blackfeet.
Right.
Yeah.
so what tribe was here?
According to the Broadwater Bygones, I think it was Crow, Blackfeet, and another.
Black,
Oh, yeah, Flathead, yeah.
Yeah, Blackfeet, I think, was here. Well, the three intermingles are here, all right. But I think Blackfoot was a strong one here, I believe, just
Huh.
kind of what I remember something.
I think Kay's gonna talk about her finding it.
Is
The
she?
open house
On Sunday.
on Sunday.
Is that at 2?
Yeah. So do you guys want to go ahead and vote on the county investment board with the changes we talked about this morning?
I do. I'm fine.
Okay. Is that a motion and a second?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to sign the county investment board resolution. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And I'll just bring that in for signatures in next week's mail. The TV district at 2 o'clock update on FCC licenses, channel section IT, Montana PBS. He is not available until next week, so I'll have a conference call with Charlie at that time, but I did ask him our questions. For PBS, Montana PBS is on our local TV, in the TV district right now. Some of the antenna need to be reprogrammed to reset in order to get that. But it is digital, it is up, it is running. Anyone who has problems with their TV specifically, we can certainly bring that to Charlie. He hasn't heard of any. Last time he was up here, he checked and everything seemed to be working fine. My guess is with some of the windstorms we've had, his guess too from a couple months ago is people need to continually reset because it's not as high tech as, you know, what we get with dishes. So you need to continually reset to get those channels. Wind can blow them and then you don't get the reception. The channels for PBS are 49.1 through 50-something. And
Maybe.
anything else?
If anybody calls, which channels?
49.1, it's in an email that was sent to the three of us through 50-something, 50.3 maybe.
That's the PBS, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for any other channel problems that people are having that you guys hear from, just have people reset their antenna and that should fix their issues.
But if you're on dish, you don't have to, right?
Right, yeah. A lot of people with their dish lost the networks, so I don't know why. So if they want networks, they have to go into what's provided through the TV district for the, you know, from the tower.
How do they reset their antenna? They just, is there a switch you throw on and off or something? Or do you know?
I don't know, we'd have to, you know, you could go and ask Neil, he might know. Or
Well, I
maybe
don't,
Shaq.
I mean, I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't either, so I don't know. But it's supposed to be pretty easy,
You
but it
do?
needs to be done periodically.
Oh, I thought somebody said I did.
No, but I was gonna ask a question pertaining to that. Because on the south side of town, last year, was goofing off. I picked up a digital receiver, and you put it in the air, a round disc, it's supposed to be for digital recovery. Hooked it all up to the TV, and I couldn't get anything to speak of. I couldn't pick up one clear channel. So I went and talked to Neil. And Neil said, on the north side of town, reception isn't favorable. South side of town, you can pick up on free with, you know, public airways. So I was gonna ask, by what you're saying here, how does one on the north side of town pick up these free airway, put up your local channels or this, that, or the other? Or, cause it used to be when it was analog, you could pick up Lewistown, shoot, you could get Canada once in a while. And so, what is there a special antenna that you can use, or
Maybe come to that meeting and ask the guy.
when is that meeting?
What time is it gonna be?
It's scheduled for next week at 1:30. And you do need to get the best quality antenna. I'm not sure
Cause it's
what
supposed
it
to
is.
be, it's supposed to be a. you
Yeah,
know,
the
It was the
district,
best one that could be picked up in town.
according to what was set up years ago, and apparently it's still working, is it includes all of Townsend and a donut around Townsend. Depending on where you're at in your view of Sand Hill, depends on how much, how good your coverage is.
So that's why the south side of town is better than the north side of town.
Very, very likely, yeah. If you're in a cloud or in the shadow of that Sand Hill, it's gonna affect your.
Cause I was
TV
wondering
viewing.
where, you know, as you're up there going around in circles trying to figure out where the
Yeah, and
signal's
it's not a
coming from.
satellite, it's stationary, so that's gonna make a difference as well.
Right,
Your neighbors, do they put you in in a shadow? Possibly, and that would affect your coverage as well. So it's not quite as high tech, but, yeah, it depends on a lot of variables, so you might have to change it.
I don't know.
You're in a
Satellite
shuttle
sometimes.
station.
okay, I mean, yeah,
Plug
that,
it for just a.
where's that meeting gonna
Have you
be?
done that too?
Right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Just a
possible.
conference call, and it's
Not
just for us to
No.
get an update, but absolutely, we can ask Charlie any of these
Cause I'd be
questions.
curious to see what type of antenna
Almost every 3 months.
for the north, for, I guess would be for extreme signal.
Yeah, I don't know that you get
Get
it
it
initially,
down.
but
I mean, I don't know, cause it,
Another thing was.
cause we went around and around trying to figure it out, you know, with Neil and his.
But
Yeah.
anymore-
all right, back to business. I have three claims I wanted to just bring up real shortly. One is the computer, since we were just on that. Julie went ahead and purchased a computer and was under the understanding that the commission is gonna pay for it. I wanted to just talk about this. We did talk about the offices that have the new computer requirements because of the Windows XP. It's Doug's office, Julie's office, and Debbie's office. They are trying to get the computers as one package to get a bulk rate. And Tyler and Black Mountain, for that matter, who both said, try and get the programming separate of the computer so it can be updated without having to update the whole computer. Julie, for her office, went ahead and got the program in the computer and the computer for $1508.20. She has different requirements than Tyler Technologies or Black Mountain because she doesn't do accounting. So, what do you guys think?
What does she use hers for? I mean, what is her main program in there?
I don't know what her main program is. I do know that she uses it extensively for work. She's putting all of her food inspection, the requirements that are coming down from DEQ are all online. So she uses it extensively.
And who did it actually come from?
I think it's a Dell computer.
Okay. Yeah.
So, any ideas?
Well, she used it.
Yeah,
I'll make the motion
What was
okay.
the motion?
to go ahead and pay for Julie's computer.
Second.
And pay for it from, I don't think Mineral Royalties has, I think it has like $5,600 in it to buy 7 computers. Of course, at this rate, we will not be able to utilize just the Mineral Royalty Fund. So, do we want to infill then with PILT? What do you guys think?
Where else is there?
I don't know, and I don't, my first thought was that we should see what the group rate is for the computers and get that, you know, and use Mineral Royalties, which is what it's for, and infill with PILT, which would be just a couple $1,000s. We're sitting at about $413,000 right now. And it's something that's needed. I mean, these offices cannot continue operating without computers, and if they go down because they haven't done anything to upgrade or it's taken too long, you know, they can't do anything. So I understand Julie going early and getting her own. Again, she's not on the same accounting software, so there's not really an issue there. So I was going to suggest that we see what the average is for the computer and pay that amount and then have the budget pick up the balance. But upon learning more, this is a whole different situation because it isn't county related. So I'm just looking for input from you guys. We are talking about paying for it out of county funds for the other 2 offices, perhaps. That's the best way here. Do you want to do the same split as the other departments? What are you guys thinking? Or do you want to do it all out of Mineral Royalties and just whatever's left is for the other departments, or do this out of PILT?
I think we treat every one of those departments alike.
Okay,
I don't think you take all of PIL, one out of our PIL for all mineral royalties. I think it's a combination package.
Yeah, so you say, well, if you use the mineral royalties, you go all the way through and then come back. I guess
But the question is how to do that. This is one of 7 computers. Do we use what Elaine is saying in the same formula for every department, which is maybe 90% mineral royalties and 10% PILT? Or do we go ahead and just pay this out of one of those and go with a whole different structure for the other departments?
I personally like the break, the percentage.
I do too. How about this? I don't see a due date, I see a delivery date. If we have a week or two to pay this, we can work with Doug and see what his cost is gonna be, work with Debbie, see what her costs are gonna be, and then work through a formula, percentage formula. Is that okay with both of you?
I think that's fine.
Okay. If this is due now, then we will go ahead and pay it and determine the formula later? Okay, all right. And then, that here for now.
Are we tabling that for a decision? There hasn't been a vote on it.
No, I think, we should actually have a vote on it so that it could be paid if it's due now, so we don't incur a late charge. So I would accept a motion to maybe, take the funding out of mineral royalties and PILT at a percentage formula to be determined later.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So move.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to go ahead and pay the new computer for the sanitarian office with a percentage formula concurrent with the other departments in need to be determined later at a total of 1508.20. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And I will give that to you, Ann, for now. The only other one is, Franklin's, yours on mileage. I'm a little bit concerned about the commission budget because we did not budget enough to be paying mileage. So one thing I would like to know is that we have enough money in the budget to pay this. And then the only other thing, so I think we do need to put that to you, Franklin, just to verify there's money in the account. Then the other one is, I did want to challenge the LEPC meeting on this. I am the liaison for the commission to the LEPC, and I have been since I was first elected. I have not relinquished that, and I have been attending those meetings. That is not to say you're not absolutely invited to come, but I don't believe that it's appropriate to pay your mileage for all these different,
I was asked
Things-
by the
yes, he's
Sure.
invited everyone. That doesn't mean that your mileage, this is a monthly fee of over $100. We're paying you extra mileage that no other commissioners charge the county. And I do oppose your being paid mileage for a meeting that you're not expected to be at as part of your job, but you're attending out of curiosity, which I applaud. But should the taxpayers be paying you extra for going to something that is already covered by another commissioner as the liaison? So, those are my only issues with that one.
Any comment, Franklin?
If I tendered, I think it should be entitled to mileage.
I guess my concern is there any money in the budget to do it?
Well, I'm not happy, I'm not comfortable signing that until I know that there's money. We didn't know that this amount of money would be going out every month to pay Franklin additional mileage, and I think you need to know that there's money in
That's
the
probably
account.
for 2 months, or maybe 3 months.
It's 2, it's actually,
I just make a bill out every once in a while.
no, I'm sorry, it's 3/8 through 4/8, that's 1 month. So it's 1 month, and I need you to, I think.
That's just the ones that I've charged on. There's a lot of them I never charged on.
You're charging them way too many, in my opinion. There's a difference between legal
I guess
and
we
moral.
difference of opinions, and
This is legal for what you're doing, but I don't believe it's moral. But aside from that, Franklin, you need to bring the budget and defend that we have enough money in our budget for this, since it's not something you proposed during the budget season that you would be collecting. Okay? Okay, I guess we will table that. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay, we meet at 9 o'clock next Monday, and that is Board of Health. And Tim?
Before you close, I'd just like to go back to the TV district.
Mhm.
One real quick question. Just for clarification, do you have a approximate number of citizens that are in the district, and are they paying a fee into the district? Which I'm guessing that they are. And I just for general, don't have to be exact, just kind of a general overview of how that district is set up.
The number, I would have to defer to you guys also on that. It's $1,000 plus, so maybe 3,000, give or take. And everyone pays $12 a year
Okay.
for that. It's not a circle,
So
so,
the Department of Revenue should know.
yeah,
how many
there you go.
households, how many taxpayers are paying that.
Well, and I don't use it because I have a dish,
Well,
but I'm still paying it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
pay it as well.
And
we
that's
don't
what I
get
was
it.
wondering, if there's a lot of citizens that are paying into the district and maybe not utilizing it,
And vice versa.
and vice versa.
There's some people who are not paying and are receiving the service as well. So it's an imperfect map, but you can certainly get those numbers from Department of Revenue. They'll have that, just
That
because
may
it's
be
in
something that
taxes.
the board may want to address as far as cleaning that up if it's possible.
That's just it. We have been involved with that until everything needed to get redone. It was tabled. But, yeah, that was one of the things that we wanted to address a couple of years ago. We did fix it up a little bit, but it's always a moving target because things change. Again, it's dependent on a big house being next door, shadows. There's a lot of different variables. So it's not one of those things that's just an exact that you can draw a line and make everything better. Ellen?
So on that issue, so if you have a digital receiver, within that system, does it have to go digital to digital, or can they still use the box to go through?
You need digital to digital is my understanding. And that was one of the issues with people not getting it, is they needed to upgrade their antennas. And that was just the CCC or FCC ruling of a couple of years ago, maybe, but after 9/11, so whenever that was.
Because that's what my system was, and I want to say it was the best antenna I could find in Helena.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe that's not saying, some, may not be saying much, but that's what was available. And,
And we're not experts on that.
so
so-
Tuesday, next Tuesday,
No, next Monday,
next Monday is my
1:30.
individual.
yes.
Okay.
All right, anything else for the good of the order? Are we going? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because you can be in Helena, and there's a lot of people in Helena that still use roof antennas.